So hello dear students, welcome to Bajirao Ias Academy interview guidance program. In this lecture today we will be discussing about the rooftop solar system. So that was in news recently because Prime Minister Narendra Modi has launched PM Suryodaya Yojana. Okay, so we have also talked about this PM Suryodaya Yojana in our previous lectures. Okay, so what is the objective of PM Suryodaya Yojana? Developing rooftop solar energy. Okay, so we have a large plans of deploying these solar panels across all the rooftops in India and by covering around 1 crore households in the coming years. Okay, so since solar energy is a renewable form of energy, we have been emphasizing on developing the solar rooftop systems. So why it is in news? Apart from the PM Suryodaya Yojana, recently the Parliamentary Standing Committee has asked Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, that is tasked with the development of rooftop solar systems across the country. So this Parliamentary Standing Committee has asked Ministry of New and Renewable Energy to ensure a wider adoption of grid connected rooftop solar photovoltaic projects. So this RSPV essentially means grid connected rooftop solar photovoltaic projects. Okay, so in this context India has some plans to develop solar energy. Okay, so India aims to install around 175 gigawatts of renewable energy. So this essentially does not only come from the solar energy, rather the bioenergy, wind energy, solar energy, geothermal energy. So from the all forms of energy, India aims to install around 175 gigawatts of renewable energy capacity. Okay, so that includes solar energy, wind energy, biomass and small hydropower by the year 2022. So however, with the overall target of 40 gigawatt from the solar energy alone, now the revised deadline to achieve this 175 gigawatt target is 2026. Okay, so these are some facts with respect to India's aims on developing the rooftop solar energy or the renewable energy of 175 gigawatt. Now in this context, what is rooftop solar photovoltaic modules? This rooftop solar photovoltaic system is one where solar photovoltaic panels are placed on the top of the building. Okay, so this is how the solar rooftop panels, the photovoltaic panels are placed on the roof of the buildings. Okay, so which can convert the sunlight into the solar power. So the incoming sunlight would be converted into power by these solar panels which are installed on the buildings. Okay, so along with the rooftops of the houses where we can install these solar photovoltaic system, the commercial buildings and the industrial buildings, so and vacant spaces on the ground can also be used for the generation of renewable solar energy from this rooftop solar photovoltaic systems. So it can be either grid connected or standalone unit known as the off-grid system. Now what does it mean when we say the grid connected? Grid connected essentially means that the solar photovoltaic system generates renewable energy, right? So this renewable energy would be used by the households. So apart from using this renewable energy by the households, so it also generates excess energy. So when this solar photovoltaic system is grid connected, this excess energy will be sold to the nearby, it would be given to the grid and then it would be sold to the discoms. Okay, so therefore by installing this solar photovoltaic system, so they will become self-sufficient with respect to energy, but they can also earn a decent income by selling the power which has been generated from the solar photovoltaic system. Okay, so it can be either grid connected or standalone unit known as the off-grid solar system. In off-grid solar system, what happens? So it will not be connected with the any grid. Okay, so this off-grid solar system It is just a self-sustaining by using the storage devices like battery, and it is not connected to any wider electronic supply system. So on the other hand, when we talk about the grid connected solar system, it is connected with the wider electronic or electric supply system. So grid connected solar system, it feeds the solar energy into the utility grid. Okay, so this grid connected solar system usually feeds the solar energy into the utility grid. Now, what are the major components of this rooftop solar system? So it includes solar photovoltaic modules, an inverter, a module mounting structure, and monitoring and safety equipment and meters. So all these things or all these components are usually installed or as part of the solar photovoltaic modules. So after that, we need to talk about the working method of this solar photovoltaics. So an inverter converts the DC power. Okay, so there's an inverter, so DC power. So the direct current would be converted into the alternate power. Okay, so alternate current, so it is generated from the solar panels. Generally from the solar panels, direct power would be generated, direct current would be generated, and this inverter would convert this direct current into the alternate current. Why? Because most of the home appliances would not be able to use direct current directly. So because of this reason, an inverter would convert the direct power into the alternate current, so which is then feed to the grid. So while meters keep track of the electricity injected and drawn from the utility grid. Okay, so there was cloudy days as well. In cloudy days, these rooftop solar system would not be able to generate enough solar energy. So whenever the solar energy is unavailable during these cloudy days, what happens? The power is usually drawn from these grids. So excess power would not be sent to these grids, but whenever there is no solar energy which is available during the cloudy days or during any cyclone or any disaster, we would get the electricity from the grid. Okay, so this is here the method that was discussed. So from direct we receive sunlight, and these are solar panels, and solar panels are connected with an inverter, and this inverter connect the direct current that has been generated from these solar panels into the alternate current. So this alternate current would be used in the electronic appliances. So after that, so there is an energy meter, and the energy meter is directly connected with the utility grid. So from the utility grid, the energy meter receives the electricity, and from the energy meter we could also use the appliances. Okay, because this utility grid is also connected with the energy meter. So this is how generally the grid connected solar rooftop system works. So after that, we need to talk about the aspect of net metering as well. So net metering generally means that a bidirectional or a net meter. Okay, so this essentially means a bidirectional or net meter. So this is installed in the premises of a consumer records the energy flow in both directions. Okay, so he usually records. So in net metering, generally what happens, a bidirectional or net meter which is installed on the premises of a consumer, and then the consumer records the energy flow in both directions. Okay, so net metering is also a very important aspect in rooftop solar energy system. Now in this context, the consumer has to pay for the net energy units he used. Okay, so the net energy units essentially means the difference between total imported units and total exported solar units. So please remember, earlier we talked about this, that the solar rooftop systems are grid connected. So in generally what happens, if we generate excess solar energy, then it would be exported to the grids, or if we have a lesser solar energy during the cloudy days, we would import the units from the grid. Okay, so essentially this net meter will help us pay for the net energy units, okay, what we sold and what we have purchased from the grid. So what are the advantages of this solar rooftop systems? It reduces the electricity demand of the consumers and the households from the corporate to state power supplies, and it also saves the electricity cost for the households and the consumers. And this rooftop solar photovoltaics owner would get paid for the power supplied to the grid. So please remember, earlier I have talked about this, that whenever the solar rooftop is connected with the grid, if they generate excess solar energy, so this solar energy would be sold to the grid. Okay, so it would be sold to the grid, so thereby the owner would be earning decent income by selling the solar energy to the grid. So whenever there's a cloudy days, or whenever there's not enough sunlight, then ultimately they would import energy from these grids. Okay, so ultimately it would benefit the household and the consumer, and it would also help to tap the potential of solar energy. Okay, solar energy, right? So it would also reduce the demand for the energy. So in this context, we need to talk about recently launched Pradhan Mantri Suryodaya Yojana. So this was launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2024 February. So this aims at tapping the vast potential rooftop projects in residential areas. Okay, so this was launched as part of the interim budget 2024, and it would help around 1 crore families get up to 300 units of free electricity per month, with savings of around 18,000 annually. Okay, so this is what is Pradhan Mantri Suryodaya Yojana, right? Thank you.